Boris Johnson has vowed a public inquiry into the handling of the coronavirus pandemic will look at the actions of the whole UK. Addressing MPs in the Commons this afternoon, the Prime Minister committed to setting up a public inquiry with statutory powers to begin in spring 2022. Mr. Johnson pledged to work with his counterparts in Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland to thrash out the exact remits of the inquiry so the country could learn the lessons of the pandemic as one Team UK. He outlined the inquiry would begin in next year once some of the worst pressures had subsided. Mr. Johnson said the investigation means the actions of the UK government and devolved administrations will be scrutinised under the microscope. Ministers, scientists and aides will all be required to give evidence under oath. Amid such tragedy, the state has an obligation to examine its actions as rigorously and candidly as possible, and to learn every lesson for the future, which is why I have always said that when the time is right there should be a full and independent inquiry, he said. Every part of our United Kingdom has suffered the ravages of this virus, and every part of the state has pulled together to do battle against it, and if we are to recover as one Team UK, as we must, then we should also learn lessons together in the same spirit. So we will consult the devolved administrations before finalizing scope and detailed arrangements, so that this inquiry can consider all key aspects of the UK response. Campaigners have for months been calling for an inquiry to be launched, but the Prime Minister has up to now resisted outlining a timetable, saying it would be wrong to add extra burdens on public officials while the country was still grappling with the virus. The Cabinet signed off on the plan for an inquiry into the pandemic earlier today. More than 127,000 people have died within 28 days of a positive coronavirus test according to official data, the fifth highest tally in the world. Ms. Sturgeon and Mr. Drakeford have both previously committed to holding their own inquiries. Mr. Johnson is likely to come under pressure in the inquiry over delays to locking down the country in spring and in the autumn last year, the decision to keep international borders open for most of the year, and shortages in personal protective equipment for the NHS. Ms. Sturgeon is likely to face scrutiny for the large outbreaks of coronavirus cases in care homes. The discharge of patients from hospital to care homes, and the spread of the virus through asymptomatic care staff, have been blamed for thousands of deaths in Scotland. Meanwhile, Mr. Drakeford will face questions over the decision to end Wallace's second lockdown in November when official data showed daily cases of the virus were yet to drop. Vowing to shine a light on all aspects of the pandemic response, Mr. Johnson added, this inquiry must be able to look at the events of the last year in the cold light of day, and identify the key issues that will make a difference for the future. Free to scrutinize every document, to hear from all the key players, and analyze and learn from the breadth of our response. That is the right way, I think, to get the answers that the people of this country deserve, and to ensure our United Kingdom is better prepared for any future pandemic. The announcement of the inquiry has been welcomed by opposition parties. Labour leader Sir Keir Starmer said it would play an important part in learning the lessons. Sir Keir highlighted the difficulties experienced by families who have lost loved ones during the pandemic, including the lack of a chance to say goodbye or have a funeral in the way they wanted. He said, it is good that the government is consulting the devolved authorities, of course it is. But the government must also consult the families because this inquiry will only work if it has the support and confidence of the families. Sir Keir said the government should also consult frontline workers. The SNP's deputy leader in Westminster, Kirsten Oswald, said, I was interested to hear the Prime Minister commit to an inquiry. Hell, be aware the First Minister already committed to this. Of course the devolved administrations have tailored their decisions to their needs.